Peace fam, it's Precious Cooker and I'm back with another video. Um, I don't know if many of you guys saw any coverage related to the Shanquella story. Shanquella Robinson. It's about a young woman who went to Mexico with her friends, so-called friends, and she died, I think, within 24 hours. Um, Now, initially, they were saying that she died from alcohol poisoning, but when an autopsy was actually done, I don't know if it was like autopsy from this side, it showed that she didn't have any alcohol in her system. And also, a video has subsequently appeared online showing Shanquella. I'm not even gonna say getting in a fight because it was a beatdown. Her so-called friend, I think it was Dejane. I'm not sure. It starts with a D. This damn rhinoceros-looking heifer was beating the crap out of Shanquella. Okay, Shaquella was naked in the video. She was not fighting back. That's why I don't want to say it's a fight. It was an assault. Okay, it was an onslaught. And I really, really want to unpack this from so many angles. I wish I could go live, but we're just gonna break down a few points. Okay. Now, thank God that her mom is like, this don't sound right, and her mom seems like she's just trying to dig deeper to find out what happened to her daughter. People are saying justice for Shaquella. I don't know how justice is going to happen, baby, because this happened in another country, in Mexico. Okay, Mexico. It sounds like they're just trying to cover it up, probably because they're embarrassed because, it's, these when tourists and stuff happens from other countries, especially places like the U.S., they probably are like, look, we don't want no problems. Is my guess. Now, this is so heartbreaking on so many levels. I can't imagine what her mom is going through, what her family members are going through, to see that your daughter just passed away and you're with so-called friends. The friends returned back to the States, left her there, okay? Child, it's a lot of stuff that needs to come out, that will continue to come out. Now, I'm going to talk about the video, okay? Because there's no way in hell, after seeing that video and people talking about justice, like I said, there's no way I wouldn't be visiting the Obia woman for these people. Because when I look at that video, her friends were recording, or at least a friend was recording her getting beat up naked. Even if it's not a friend, you've seen people, videos of people fighting and strangers try to break up the fight. These are friends watching her get beat up and then have the nerve to say Shaquella at least fight back. And she didn't fight back. So she could have easily gotten injuries, really, really bad injuries that led to her death. We don't know what type of underlying health issues she has. Also, we only saw a part of the video. Who knows how long that actual video is? Assault video actually is. We don't know. Okay, this could have been going on for several minutes. And when I saw this video, it really made me think about how, as a community, I feel like we normalize violence in many ways. We normalize beating the shit out of kids. I'm not saying me, I'm not saying you, but many of us do, okay? We normalize and make excuses for people beating the crap out of their kids and calling it discipline. We normalize getting froggy with folks because we don't have enough emotional regulation to work out our issues in other ways. Now, we all get mad. Some of us may want to get somebody and put our hands on somebody every now and then, but that shouldn't be the first thing that we think about. And when I see these people that claim they're friends, one is taping and one is beating up the other friend, and nobody's intervening, and it just seems to be normalized, that tells me right there that's a huge problem. And I want to say to you, whether you are 15 or 55, never allow violence to be normalized in your life, okay? If it has in the past, and you're a grown-ass person, you could do something about it. Never allow violence. And so, let me tell you, violence isn't always physical. Some people are violent with their words and their tone. Okay, I'm not talking about if we get upset and say some things we shouldn't say. Okay, I'm talking about people who they don't got no chill. Anytime there's a disagreement or a confrontation, they get very aggressive. Don't keep friends like that. They need healing. Okay, either they're working on themselves, and that's one thing. But I remember having some friends in undergrad, And there was this one friend that you could just tell she just lives for the ratchery. And I'm no longer friends with that person, but you have to be careful about what you normalize and what level of ratchetry you're okay with, because it can lead to your death. It can lead to you being maimed. It can lead to a lot of things. It can lead to you being in jail. And I'm saying this, I'm not saying that this doesn't happen with other races. I'm just saying, as Black people, we tend to normalize a lot of violence in our communities. Make sure you evaluate the people in your life, okay? And like, nobody's perfect. We all get angry, different degrees of it. So I'm not saying if somebody, raised their voice or something. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about look for signs, especially if you come from a abusive household. You know what those signs are, okay? Pay attention. Another thing I want to speak on quickly is people are getting very carried away with their fake private detective type shit, okay? Now, it is okay to speculate and do different things, but the court of public opinion just gets out of hand sometimes. And I watched 2 videos regarding the story. One was from Lovely T and one was from Nick at Night. And I'm going to say shout out to Nick at Night, because she started out her video by saying people are getting carried away and doing too much, okay? It is a tragic story, but ultimately we weren't there, and we don't have enough information yet to draw conclusions, okay? Notice the conclusions, or not even conclusions, but the things I'm speaking of is what's in the video. You got people blaming the dude that showed up the day after her death and talking about he sound guilty and suspicious and he's not crying. Here's the thing. Everybody responds differently to tragic situations. Everybody's not going to bawl their eyes out when somebody dies. Sometimes that shit might happen to them 9 months later. I've seen all types of layers to grief and loss, okay? It doesn't always play out the way people think it should. You have people that actually are innocent in jail based on the fact that they didn't look a certain way because somebody died. Okay, so we have to be careful with that. I think we need to wait for more facts to draw final conclusions. I'm speaking on the fight and the fact that that was effed up very clearly, and at the very least that woman needs to be charged with assault because she was doing the absolute most, okay?